Okay, so the question is just to name one thing you remember from class yesterday. And after you've made your post, go and read other people's.
Why? Getting in trouble, yes. Yeah, see, so that's what happens.
You posted it.
I did not.
Yes, you did. You typed it.
I wasn't gonna post.
Somebody's energy and work are married.
No, sex. None of these posts are mine, okay? Don't blame me.
I actually am doing it.
Was it yours, the one that was deleted?
Yeah, but that was Seb who posted it.
You typed it.
I typed it for fun, but Seb posted it.
Oh my god.
Seb, please stop.
I love how the names Aiden and Sebastian. Perfect name.
Because we have to work together to cause needs an iPad for iPad.
There are more than two types of energy.
When your iPad has a handle.
Oh, bro. Yeah, that one's.
So, yesterday, a lot of people remembered that energy is the ability to do work. Okay, there are lots of different forms of energy. We talked about some yesterday. Okay, but all forms of energy fall into either one of two categories, either potential or kinetic. Okay, so this is a good start. So as most of you remember the definition of energy, the next question might be a little repetitive, but good review nonetheless. Okay, so the question, this is a two-part question. Number one, what is energy? Number one, what is energy? Okay, number two, what is work? Okay, I'm glad to see people getting out their ISNs and actually looking back at the definition of work.
You gotta do good grammar stuff.
No.
There you go, Aiden. There's the other two.
Okay, so another 15 seconds or so if you are not done. Okay, you should take off your hood. Thank you. Okay. Do work. Let's see. So work should be in here somewhere, right? You already... Back further. So it's going to be all the way before all those simple machines notes that we took. Oh, it's going to be on this page over here. Perhaps. Nope. It's going to be on this page. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so, yep, Hayden pointed out, as many other people did as well, that energy is the ability to do work, and work is the use of force to move an object. Okay? So, one more kind of review. This is going to be a 7-question quiz to see what you remember from the Brain Pop video we watched yesterday. Okay? So if you don't see the questions, reload your page, and that should do the trick.
I know what you have to do. It's because you have the navigator on.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Derek. You're like the tech guru.
Yeah, it just happened to me, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also know how to work out these two.
Yeah, good tech support.
Like I could type something up here
Mm-hmm.
and just make all the computers, all the iPads glitch.
I'm so glad that you don't do
I've
that,
done it to
that you
people
refrain.
before. Wait, Max, did I do it to you? I did it to Alex. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you haven't finished the quiz, you should be able to finish it in another minute, okay? Minute or less.
You did not steal that.
Okay, folks, finish up this quiz, okay? We're going to start going over it in 10 seconds. Okay. Oh, whoops. Sorry, guys.
It was 10 seconds, I made sure that I counted.
What do you mean, what's the point of taking the quiz?
What's the point of taking the quiz if you're just going to forward?
Sorry, guys. I meant to do something to go over the quiz, and I ended up messing it up. Okay, no, you won't have to take it again. You won't have to take it again. We're just going over it, okay? I got all your answers. So, raise your hand. What is potential energy? Is potential energy stored energy an object has due to its position or shape, or the energy an object has due to its motion? Matt, which one?
Stored energy and object has due to its position.
Perfect, okay? That would be the answer to number 1. All right, again, show of hands. What is kinetic energy? Well, Jessica? Right. Kinetic energy is the energy an object has due to its motion. Okay, when does an object have no kinetic energy, Aiden?
When it's at rest.
Perfect, when it's at rest. Okay. Next question. Which object has the most potential energy? Aiden again? Yes, this would be the right answer. A ball resting on the edge of Mount Everest. Why, Aiden?
Because it's like the highest natural point, or highest point at all.
Yeah, it's the highest point. So of this list, it's the highest point. Remember that potential energy, as height increases, potential energy increases, okay? So a ball resting on the edge of Mount Everest is the highest point of this list, okay? When does a yo-yo have the most potential energy? Someone we haven't heard from yet, maybe? Alex?
When it's at its highest point.
Okay, again, when it's at its highest point, for the same reason, okay? Okay? The higher something is, the more potential energy it has, the more stored energy. Is that the last one? When is potential energy transformed into kinetic energy? Matt?
When an object at rest is
When an object at rest is put into motion. Perfect. I just noticed I had a spelling error in that question. Sorry.
spelling bee.
Spelling. Which is the best synonym for potential energy? Casimira? Yes, stored energy. Okay, and that was it. So what you guys should do now is to take out your ISN and flip to the potential versus kinetic energy page. Okay, looks like this.
That may be the best meat I've ever had.
Okay, so when you get your ISN out, as many of you have started doing, you are going to write everything on the screen under the potential energy tab. Okay? Okay, so potential energy is stored energy. And there are two types of potential energy. There's gravitational potential energy, which is related to an object's height. So, in the movie yesterday, when Tim and Moby were riding up the ski lift when they got to the top of the hill, their gravitational potential energy increased. Okay, but there's also something called elastic potential energy. And if you guys think about your mousetrap cars that you made in tech, the tension on the string, that was elastic potential energy. And that's related to an object's shape. Jose, did you get this down?
Yeah.
Let's do tomorrow. Okay, so hang on to it till then. All right? Did you get everything down? Not just some keyword? Okay, everything down. All right. Thank you. Jose, did you get everything down? Yeah? Great. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Okay, in a couple of seconds I'll switch the slide. Okay, I'm going to switch to the next slide, all right? Okay, kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is energy in motion. And the amount of kinetic energy, did you guys need this? No. The amount of kinetic energy an object has depends on the object's mass and also its velocity. What's velocity? Matt? Speed in a given direction. Yes. Okay, I'm going to switch the slide in a few seconds. Okay. Think back on the tennis ball activity that we completed yesterday. So we dropped a tennis ball from 3 different points. From the top of the meter stick or the 100 centimeter mark. Okay, from the 75 centimeter mark and from the 50 centimeter mark, right? So the question is, okay, there's 2 parts to this question. Number 1, when was the potential energy of the tennis ball the greatest? At the 100 centimeter mark? At the 75 centimeter mark? Or 50? Okay, the second part of the question is to explain how you know. Got to go back and address the second part of the question.
I like science.
You said 100. Okay, go back and change it to something real. Okay.
What?
The second part. 100 because why?
Yeah.
Yes, you're smart, but why? How do you know?
Because I know.
How do you know?
Enough said.
Okay, I use these to make your participation grades, just so that you know. These. Okay, as long as you know. Okay, let's take a look at some ones. Okay, so Ava had a great answer. Ava said, okay, the tennis ball had the greatest potential energy at the 100 centimeter mark because it was the highest point, and the higher an object is, the more potential energy it has. Okay, so that was great. All right, what I'm going to do, you can still finish if you haven't yet, okay? Your screen is still up. What I'm going to do now is hand out a packet. So when you get do not put your iPads away. We're still using them, very much so, okay? You can put your ISN away for the time being. When you get this packet, read over the first page, okay? That's due tomorrow, so I want you to hang on to it till tomorrow, okay, Casimira? There you go. Look over the first page. Okay. No, you will not. Okay. Look over the first page, okay? Look over the first page. Look over the first page. All right. There you go. Look over the first page. Okay, so right now, you should be quietly reading over that first page.
You mean one hill and one loop?
What did I say? On hill? Yes, I meant one hill and one loop. Okay, so on your the next slide, you're going to come to a simulation that looks like this. You guys are going to be creating a skate park, okay? So what you are going to do to create it is, okay, you can click and drag the tracks from the bottom of the screen. So look up here if you're not looking up here yet. Max and Jeff. Okay, click and drag up, all right? And then from there, you can stretch out, okay, make different shapes by connecting more than one, right? You can make loops and stuff, okay? So, stuff like that. Your skate park has to have at least one hill and one loop. So what I mean by that is most basic design would be something like this, okay? One hill, one loop. You can get crazier than that, and I'm going to give you guys enough time to make a more complicated design, okay? So when you are done creating your track, you're going to make a sketch of it. Shh. Guys, when I'm trying to give directions, it's really frustrating to have the same people always having to make me stop. Okay, when you're done designing your track, you are going to do a sketch of it on your lab sheet before you test it. So what I mean by that is you can drag the little skater dude or girl, I can't tell, over and have them actually ride the track you created. But don't do that until you have completed a design and sketched it on your lab sheet, okay? So testing it will be the last part. After you test it, you're going to answer that question at the bottom where you're going to explain what happened. Did your skater complete the track? Maybe your skater didn't complete the track for some reason. Maybe it fell off or something else happened. Yeah, Derek? Oh, good question. So you can spend a few, the first minute that you're working on the simulation messing with these things, okay? When you're actually testing your track, make sure you select this, is all I ask. Because your skater will never fall off the track if you have this selected. Okay? But if you select this, it's more of like a real life scenario, so that's what I would like you to use when you're testing. Okay? This right here. So I will now put it on your screens, and I'll keep that frozen. Okay, you guys, I'm going to give you 7 minutes to complete part A, okay? So that would be, spending a minute just playing around with the simulation, then making your skate park, sketching it, testing it, and answering that question at the bottom, okay? Max, if it hasn't come up on your screen, I would reload. Okay. It must be something wrong. There you go. Is anyone having any technical issues with their simulation? No? You do what? So, yeah, kind of to make a loop, you connect multiple tracks, but yeah, you've got like a basic loop right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not gonna work.
Does it work?
You what? Oh, I didn't realize there was a maximum amount. You ran out of them, Derek?
Yeah.
Hey,
Huh.
my guy doesn't go.
Well, you can stretch them out and stuff so that you can get more bang for your buck. Okay. It's a challenge.
Oh my God.
So you guys have about 4 minutes to complete part A, so the sketch and the question. If you finish early, you can then just spend some time playing around with the simulation.
That worked.
I didn't mind. Oh, mine?
He's like, oh my channel.
I don't know. It was just like, I feel like I had just some sort of OCD process. So, I made it work.
There. Look. That's perfect.
Straight down. I don't like this.
No. Oh.
My guy won't make it.
Did he just go back on after that? Bounce back quickly. Coverage from injury.
My first one.
It worked?
My guy made it too.
No, I reset my thing. What did jump?
Wait, can I get them to actually?
Okay, just a reminder, you have 2 minutes to finish part A. And like I said, if you finish early, you can play around with the simulation.
That didn't work.
No way. It fell off, dang it.
No.
Oh, wow.
I changed it. It worked. I have to start them at the
An
top.
infinite loop.
Look,
What?
You gotta start them at the top.
Mm-hmm.
he's going a bit up.
And then,
To the jump.
boom.
Oh. Biscuit is like. he's almost around actually. He's getting close.
Oh, I just died.
He's going a little farther every time.
I think it weighs a lot. How the heck?
How the Aiden?
Okay, if you have not done your sketch, you should definitely, I expect that people have their sketches done. And if you haven't started responding to the question at the bottom, that would be what you should be on now. Okay. Okay, so it looks like we have some folks still working on that question, so I will give you another minute for that, all right? So when the timer goes off, I'm going to switch the screen, and it's going to be a draw it slide where you're going to sketch your final design that you made for part A, okay? Okay. So prepare for the screen to switch. No. Okay, so sketch your roller coaster design. So basically you're just drawing whatever you have on your sheet. Okay?
Mine's awesome. Mine's good too.
Okay, so Alex has 2 hills in 1 loop, so a little more complicated than the basic design. Okay. Remember you had to have at least 1 hill in 1 loop. Let's see if anyone incorporated more. Okay, Selena has, what do you have, Selena? You have like 2 or 3 hills and 2 loops. What else do we have here? Casimira has has a crazy, very steep roller coaster ride with a really steep hill and a loop at the end.
Mine goes it.
Very nice, Michaela.
He fell, he missed. So see, he hurt his knee.
Very nice, Jeff.
Oh, Jeff.
Okay, and Helena's is really wacky too. So she's got a lot of hills and 2 loops. Okay, so the next question is, did your skater complete the track, yes or no? And again, this would be, did your skater complete the track under those like real conditions, not using the track where your skater will stay on no matter what?
No, mine.
He did. So did he? So it was sort of like in the middle, like he fell off and then he got back on.
Yeah, like he fell like midway and then like goes back.
Oh, that's interesting. So, but he completed it, right? So,
He fell, but then the same exact spot he landed, so he just kept going.
oh yeah, this is kind of like what happened
And then
to.
just kept going.
Jay, what were you asking? Like mass and friction? No. It's okay. Well, friction would have an impact on it. Like if you had absolutely no friction, they might have your skater would have been able to complete the track better. So those things would have had an impact on whether your skater could complete it.
Like move and then launch off and then kind of like rock.
Yeah, they were asking the same thing. I would say sure because it completed the track, but you're right, it's kind of in the middle.
What I did is I put the mask all the way up, the skater, going down the hill. So I thought it make him go faster since there's more mass, more inertia or whatever.
Yeah.
And then once he hit the bottom of the hill, I put the mass back normal.
Okay.
And then he went all the way around it. He did it without.
So if you changed the mass, you could get him to complete. Got it. That's really cool. Okay, looks like most people were able to have their skater complete the track. Okay, so what we're going to do now is flip to part B. Okay, flip your page to page 2, part B, and just silently read part B to yourself. So again, we are reading part B, which is on page 2.
Oh my god.
Okay, so for part 2, you're not going to be designing your own skate park. You're going to be using a pre-made skate park. For the questions, you're going to use the track that looks like this, the U. If you finish part B early, then you can like play around with these other tracks. Okay, but for the questions, use the U-shaped track. Can I have everyone looking up here? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to fill in this chart. And the way that you fill in the chart is you circle either increase or decrease for the potential energy and kinetic energy columns. So, for example, when the skater is approaching the highest point on the track, which that would be the first row of your data table, is potential energy increasing or decreasing? And in order to answer these questions, you need to have either the pie chart or the bar graph checked. If it helps you to have both up, then you can do both, okay? So use the pie chart and or the graph to determine what's going on with potential energy and kinetic energy at different points on the track. So that would be moving towards the highest point, in between the high and low point, that's what I mean by middle of the track, and then the bottom of the track would be the dip in this U, okay? So, and then you're going to make a claim about the relationship between potential and kinetic energy. So as one increases, what happens to the other? And summarize your evidence, okay? So I'll put it on your screens. Where do I do that? Oh no, I just X'd out of Nearpod, guys. Hold on.
Everybody, clap. Yay.
Okay, resume.
Squid looking drawing.
Okay, we're back on. So take about 5 minutes to work on part B. Okay, I'll put a timer up. Oh yeah, I'm hearing some people wondering about thermal. So for this part, just ignore thermal energy. We're just focusing on potential and kinetic, okay? Let me know if you have questions as I'm coming around.
Miss Goodwin, you can like completely mess this up. Look at this.
How?
You go up like this, and then you go smaller.
Oh, if you change the mass?
Yeah, and then you go faster, and then you go fatter, and then it goes the other way.
So we're going to be playing with the friction, not so much the mass in another sim. For this one, probably just have it right in the middle. Okay.
You can mess it up. You can just put them up here.
Mm-hmm. Whee! Yeah, you can make them go off the track. Eva, do you have a question? Yeah.
What is the difference between the middle and the bottom of the track?
Good question. So by middle, I mean between the high and low point. So like around here. Okay. Does anyone have a question about what I mean by middle of the track? Okay, I'll show you up here. By middle of the track, for those of you who are wondering, by middle of the track I mean between the high and low point, so like around here. Okay? That's what I meant by that. Yeah. So between the high and low point. Okay, around here. So if he's going down. So if he's going down, on either side it'll be about the same. So high point, potential energy increases, kinetic energy decreases. Good. Then as he's coming down, what decreases and what increases?
Potential.
Potential energy.
No, the kinetic
Bottom of the
decreases.
track don't both
Potential
decrease?
goes higher.
So as he's coming down here, around here, potential energy is,
Going down.
and kinetic energy, or are you sure about that? Potential is blue, kinetic is green.
Doesn't kinetic, at the bottom, potential goes down, kinetic goes
See?
up?
At the bottom, potential is like 0%, and kinetic is 100%, so yes. And then at the mid,
Blue's going down. So
I see.
potential decreases.
When he's going up the steep side. What about when he's going down the steep side? Which one's decreasing then?
Potential. Because green takes
Oh
over.
yeah, is that what you've been saying the whole time?
Yes.
Yep. Just keeping you on your toes, Jade. You would be right. Okay, guys, so you have a minute and a half left to finish part B.
Why did you say the king?
Because everyone around here gets the kings from Dustin Brown.
That doesn't make sense.
So, it's the way I worded it is confusing. This is high on the track. This would be the bottom. And what I meant by middle was between high and low.
I have a question.
So like around here. So
It makes no sense because if you're going down,
right.
then the kinetic's increasing in the middle. But if you're going up, the potential's increasing.
Good point. So I definitely should have been more specific on the sheet. So I'll ask you now, when he's going down, what's happening to potential at around this point? Is it yes, okay. So I should have been more specific on the sheet because you could interpret it either way. So when he's going down, potential is decreasing, good. Kinetic is increasing, perfect. Okay. So what happens to one as the other increases? Like what happens to potential energy?
If one increases, the other one decreases.
Exactly. Okay. And then for evidence, don't just say like C chart, like summarize it. Okay, summarize what you found through doing the chart. Okay. You already said C chart. Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Yep, that's the takeaway here. Okay, guys, so the exit ticket today is going to be a review of Part B, okay? So you should have those questions done. If you didn't finish them, I'm expecting them to be done, so you'd bring them home to finish. For the evidence part, again, it shouldn't be something like see the chart or see the simulation. You should be putting into full sentences what you found through doing the chart. Okay, so here's a Part B review, and again, this is going to be your exit ticket. Whoops, let me go back and freeze that. Okay, so the first thing is a fill in the blank. So we're on Nearpod now. First thing is a fill in the blank. This is a Part B review.
I had it there and I put it down.
Oh, can you redo it? Does it let you? Okay, reviewing this. As the skater approached the bottom of the track, okay, you should have found that potential energy decreased while kinetic energy increased. Okay. Okay, 2-question quiz. Can I use yours to review? Sure. You're awesome. Thank you. Okay, I did have one more question planned, which we'll just do at the beginning of class tomorrow because I want you guys to have time to clean up. But just reviewing that quiz quickly. At which point did the skater have the greatest kinetic energy? Someone raise a hand. Max. Bottom of the track. At which point did the skater have the greatest potential energy, Jessica? Top of the track. Okay, folks, good job today. Please put your iPads away. Oh, important point. I want this lab packet tucked inside your ISN since we will be using it again tomorrow. Lab packets tucked in your ISN. Please and thank you. Nope, just put them in the bin, Jeff, okay? I'll put this way for you. Okay. Thanks, Kazmir.
Here, I'll beat you.
Sorry, Jessica, yeah? Is my thing creeping you out? Is it stuck?
Yes.
It's kind of creepy. I'll turn it off, Jade.
Yes.
Just like staring at you. Like staring deep into my soul.
Oh dear. This is funny.
I watched it get stuck too.